A joint investigation by several media outlets have linked the mysterious Havana syndrome affecting US diplomats to a Russian intelligence unit.
Germany now biggest EU country to legalise recreational cannabis. Chias' ancient Easter tradition of the burning Judas takes place in 28 villages in northern Bohemia.
An Israeli airstrike has destroyed Iran's consulate in Damascus, the capital of Syria, killing several people. Iranian authorities say the strike killed 7 officers, including 2 senior commanders. The bombing is a significant escalation in a war pitting Israel against its regional adversaries. Israel has long targeted military installations of its arch-enemy, Iran, and those of its proxies in Syria. Israeli forces have ramped up those strikes alongside its campaign against the Iran-backed Palestinian group Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Iran has promised it will retaliate. Israel, which rarely acknowledges such strikes, said it had no comment.
Three people have died in Ukraine's Lviv and Kharkiv regions in Russian attacks. Thousands in Odessa region were also left without power after an energy facility was struck by drone debris. The attacks come as Bucha villagers commemorate the 2-year anniversary of liberation from Russian forces. Ukrainian troops retook the town on March 31st, 2022. They found the bodies of men, women and children on the streets and in mass graves. President Vladimir Zelensky paid his respect to the victims.
2 роки тому весь світ побачив справжній сенс нашої битви тут, в Україні. Побачили всі, для кого це тоді було, на жаль, просто ще однією війною. Побачили, що це за війна, що Україна в ній захищає не лише свій державний кордон та суверенітет.
Meanwhile, the French government has committed to delivering hundreds of armoured vehicles to Ukraine by the beginning of next year. Defence Minister Sébastien Lecornu promised additional anti-craft missiles. It comes as Russia's invasion of Ukraine enters the 3rd year.
France's foreign minister and his Chinese counterpart have met for discussions ahead of Chinese leader Xi Jinping's planned visit to France. The two discussed trade and Russia as France pressured Beijing to show clear support for Ukraine.
Veuillez mettre l'écouteur. Merci.
Et donc, je ne pense pas que les questions, en tout cas liées à la stratégie, seront évoquées, mais plutôt de comment faisons-nous pour que la paix puisse advenir en Ukraine. Donc une chose, éventuellement que la Russie retire ses troupes. Et donc les messages doivent être passés très clairement à la Russie. Et nous attendons également d'un grand pays comme la Chine qu'elle puisse passer des messages très clairs.
China maintains it is a neutral party in the Ukraine conflict. Elsewhere, France largely reiterated positions laid out by other European leaders. Both also expressed the desire to maintain strong economic relations. Turkish voters have reacted to the ruling party AKP's major setback in local elections held on Sunday. The main opposition party secured a sweeping victory in the run, winning key cities such as Istanbul and Ankara. The results mark President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's worst defeat in more than 2 decades in power.
Bu kadar nankörlük olmamalıydı. Çünkü ben görmüyorsam diğerinden ne hizmet gördüm? Şu anda boşuna çenemizi yoruyoruz da biliyorum. Ama deliriyorum, kabul edemiyorum.
Açıkçası bugün güzel bir güne uyandık. Ben ülkem için hayırlı olacağını düşünüyorum. Zaten hepimiz aynı topraklarda yaşıyoruz. Mutluluğumuz için, huzurumuz için eminim herkes elinden geleni yapacaktır.
Neurological finding that is basically
The mysterious so-called Havana syndrome symptoms experienced by US diplomats in recent years have been linked to a Russian intelligence unit, according to a joint media investigation by several media outlets. The illness, which can cause brain damage, may be linked to the use of sonic weapons by Russian secret services against these personnel. Moscow dismissed the allegations as groundless.
Ни разу никто, хоть сколько-нибудь убедительных подтверждений вот этим голословным обвинениям нигде не публиковал и не высказывал. Поэтому все это не более чем беспочвенное обвинение, голословное обвинение СМИ.
Russia's 29155 unit has been blamed for several international incidents, including the attempted poisoning of the defector Sergei Skripal in Britain in 2018. In a 2023 report, US authorities claimed it was unlikely a foreign power was responsible for the symptoms, but put no possible other causes forward.
Adults over the age of 18 are now allowed to possess 25 grams of cannabis for personal consumption. The first step in a much-debated law also allows adults to cultivate at least 3 marijuana plants at home. The changes mean Germany now has some of the most liberal cannabis laws in Europe, alongside Malta and Luxembourg. From July 1st, it will also be legal in Germany to obtain weed through cannabis clubs. The law has come under scrutiny, but the government argues that it will combat a black market for the drug. Chias Easter procession of the burning Judas has begun. Only 28 villages in northern Bohemia carry out this ancient tradition.
První zmínka o tom je v obecní kronice z roku 1893, kdy místní učitel doslovně napsal ten popěvek, který se dodnes zpívá.
In line with ritual, the eldest boy in the village is wrapped in straw and turned into Judas. The straw suit, which weighs over 15 kilos, takes several days to prepare.
Jako kdybych jako můžu hejbat tak s většinou těla, ale omezeně prostě.
Carolers lead the Judas from door to door in the village. The boys who take part are under the age of 15. The tradition finishes with a procession through the town.
Takže za tu zradu toho Ježíše je jakoby oděn hanbou a je upálen vlastně na konci té pouti.
The Judas is then symbolically burned, with carolers rattling and singing.
Vodění proradného Jidáše ve slavněném obleku po vesnici souvisí s magií a s náboženským chápáním přírody. Je to taková jarní osobní očista. Chias Easter, Euronews, Stradouň, Česká republika.
Temperatures in Cyprus have already reached 30 degrees and more since March, so April 1st, a national holiday for the island country, was the perfect chance for Cypriots to hit the beaches. Coasts of Ayia Napa and Protaras were flooded by people unbothered by high temperatures, enjoying the sea and the sand in any way possible.
Περνώ τέλεια, χαλαρώνω μες στην άμμο, πάει πολλά σήμερα παραλία.
Ήταν ότι πρέπει σήμερα με τόση ζέστη το νερό σε δροσίζει. Φέραμε μουσική μαζί μας, έχουμε μουσική από δίπλα.
Περνούμε καλά, είμαστε οκ, εσύ δεν κάτσαμε να σου πω την αλήθεια.
Το νερό είναι παγωμένο.
Ω, είναι καλό.
Ευκάλε μαζί και έκαμε μας καλή μέρα, η Λάρνα κάνει και πολλά καλές παραλίες, είπαμε να έρθουμε δάμε, γαλάζιο νερό, ασπριάμος, καλή επιλογή.
Cyprus is enjoying summery temperatures early on in the year due to the high pressures affecting the region, without having to suffer from the Sahara dust. According to weather predictions, similar conditions will continue throughout the week. Visitors and tourists flocked to the little village of Haloko in northeastern Hungary on Easter Monday to watch the men pour buckets of water on local women in an unusual Easter tradition for the village. The tradition is centuries old. In the old days, the tradition was to only water the girls men deemed desirable candidates to be a wife.
Ilyenkor érzem azt, hogy igazán ide tartozom, és otthon vagyok, és ilyen biztonságot ad nekem a viselet.
After the watering, celebrations begin. The Nograd Folk Dance Ensemble then invite onlookers to dance in the open streets.
Itt Hollókön egyetlen lány sem maradhat szárazon. A 4 napos húsvéti fesztivál az év legnagyobb presztízsű találkozója lett a hagyományőrzőknek és néptáncosoknak. Ez pedig egyre több embert vonz ide, minden évben Hollókőre. Siposegyi Zoltán, Euronews.
Tapes with never released music by the late Marvin Gay have been discovered in Belgium. 30 cassettes contain 13 hours of new music. The American artist lived in Ostend for 18 months in 1981 and 1982 and wrote his best-known song, Sexual Healing, there. Debates over who owns the tapes left by the soul legend have begun.
Op een van de cassettes staat een fenomenaal nummer. Het heeft een ganse dag in mijn hoofd gezeten en ik dacht, oh my god, dit is wel, dat is van hetzelfde niveau Sexual Healing. En dat is maar één, hè. Je zit er nog bij.
Marvin Gay was shot dead by his father in 1984. The hope now is that through the discovery of the cassettes, the music will be revived.
Italian tennis player Jannik Sinner won the Masters tournament in Miami, defeating Bulgarian Grigor Dimitrov in the deciding match 6-3, 6-1. It took Sinner 1 hour and 14 minutes to win his 13th ATP title and his second Masters 1000. Sinner has lost just one match so far this season. But after the 22-year-old's performance at the Miami Opens, he ranks world number 2.